If you're anything like me, then you probably don't have an extreme mouth-watering net worth like the famous investor Warren Buffett or the famous CEO of Tesla, Elon Musk. But just because you aren't as wealthy as them, doesn't at all mean there's no point in knowing your personal net worth. Actually, it can be a pretty helpful tool that many people fail to use. Knowing how much money you have is both great and beneficial to you because you can keep track of your progress and see improvements over time. It's also nice to know how your own net worth holds up in comparison to your peers. It's not really for the sake of competition, but just to know how you're doing compared to the average person. Here are a few tips for knowing exactly how your net worth is doing, and if you want to see the best ways to increase your net worth so you can easily surpass the average person. Be sure to watch this video until the end. Welcome to Modern Wealth, where we help you be financially secure. Now, let's get on with the first tip. Firstly, it's important to know how net worth is calculated. Some people mistakenly assume that net worth is determined by your annual income, but that's not always the case. Simply put, net worth is what you own minus what you owe. The assets that you own would primarily be your home, cars, and anything else that has any value, like bank accounts, investments, your new golden watch, and even diamond jewelry. If your home is worth $500,000, your cars are worth $50,000 in other small assets, which could go up to $10,000, the entire total amount would amount to over $560,000. However, this doesn't equal net worth since debts haven't been considered. For example, if you have a $300,000 mortgage balance, $40,000 in car loans, and $3,000 in credit card debt, that's a total of $343,000 in debt that have to be subtracted from the total number. If we were to subtract the debts from the total value of all assets, that would leave a total net worth of $217,000. As you can probably tell, this calculation has nothing to do with how much an individual earns. The Federal Reserve Board usually conducts a survey of consumer finances every 3 years to collect information about family incomes and net worth. The most recent report was conducted in September 2019 and released sometime in 2020. Although the study isn't entirely up to date, especially considering recent high inflation rates, it should still be a relatively accurate representation of the current condition. The study found that the mean or average net worth for US households was a surprisingly high $748,800. To us common folk, it might seem like the average person wouldn't have that much money, but the ultra-rich households of billionaires and multimillionaires drive the mean extremely high. If we instead looked at the median or midpoint value, that would give us a better picture of the everyday person that you see on the street. Now, the overall median net worth of US households is $121,700, which is a more reasonable number that can be easy to surpass with some effort for someone who is under 35. This could be due to a variety of factors, like people this age are at the beginning of their careers and haven't started earning a healthy, stable income. They might even have student loans, making it hard to raise that net worth in a short amount of time. They probably either just purchased a home or haven't done so yet, so this can have a huge impact on your net worth. According to the Federal Reserve, homeowners have a median net worth of $255,000, while renters have an average net worth of just $6,300. Additionally, they might not have even begun investing for retirement due to lingering debts or too low of an income. Even if they have a steady income, it can take a long time for investments to snowball and begin earning an appreciable amount of money. People in the age group of 35 to 44 have a median net worth of $91,300 at this time in their lives. Thankfully, there's a huge possibility that they won't be stuck where they are forever. Financial progress always picks up a little once a career has been established and incomes have increased. However, new responsibilities also arise with growing families. I mean, the purchase of a home has probably aided in this net worth growth, since they're paying their mortgage down and owning an appreciating asset instead of renting or living with family. Retirement accounts have hopefully been established and are being added to on a regular basis. But many people haven't begun to think about retirement yet. If they do so at all, the 45 to 54 age group could see steady growth. And while there aren't always as many life changes from the previous age group, some households are beginning to see kids move out, which may or may not aid in the family budget. These aged families are usually in a similarly priced home as they were previously, aside from the occasional upgrade to accommodate a growing family. Still, many fail to begin planning for their future due to a lack of understanding of investments or the failure to realize the need to invest. More often than not, these lead to debts that become even larger later on. Plus, more luxuries are common because, especially in this age group, people feel that they deserve it because they work hard. Before we move on to the next age group, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It'll let me know that these videos are helping you out. Also, I'd love to hear your thoughts so far. Which age group do you belong to, and did I get the traits right? Let me know in the comments down below. Moving on, those aged 55 to 64 see a small jump in adding to the circumstances of the previous age group. This could mean that the housing situation probably hasn't changed much, or perhaps because some families decide to downsize their homes as their kids move out and less space is needed. Income usually plateaus at this point and begins decreasing due to fewer hours worked and being far less productive. The fortunate ones see an improving situation due to growing investments along with mortgages being paid down and the rising ability to pay cash for other items instead of financing households. Next, at age 65 to 74, people usually have a net worth of $266 up slightly from the younger bracket with traditional retirement beginning. At around age 65, net worth is no longer going to grow as it did before. Some people are drawing on their investments if they have them and working less. If, at all, healthcare needs are on the rise and can make a big impact on the finances of those who are unhealthy with minimum healthcare coverage. Since these families aren't very old yet, a decreasing net worth at this point could endanger their retirement. Lastly, the 75 and older age group is currently experiencing a decrease in median net worth to $254. This is the first age group where net worth actually goes down, but rest assured, it's not always a bad thing. Spending the money you have left can be enjoyable, provided you're unlikely to run out. I mean, truth be told, no one can really be sure of how long we're going to live, right? So why not treat yourself to a vacation once in a while? Just make sure that you're not going to run your entire retirement dry. For this group, we have to understand that most people this age aren't working. And if they do, chances are their income isn't particularly high. Now, net worth is one measure of your financial situation and can help you track your financial progress. It can be useful to keep track of your net worth, but doesn't really tell you when you'll be financially independent. For example, someone could have a net worth of $10 million, but still need to work in order to pay their bills. They could have an $8 million house and $2 million worth of exotic cars and no income-producing assets. On the other hand, someone could have a net worth of over $200,000 but be retired. Now, a better way to measure your financial health would be to know your annual passive income, as well as your annual expenses. Being able to grow your investments so that they provide more income is more important than obsessing over the entire value of your household. There are a few important ways to increase your net worth, which can ultimately help you become financially independent. If you're not already, paying down student loans, credit cards, and other debts that reduce your net worth should be a priority. This means you won't have to pay interest to lenders and your income will be freed up for other things. And secondly, be sure to invest your money into appreciating assets like real estate business or stocks and other investments that provide compounded returns. This way, your investments accelerate and snowball over time. Finding ways to decrease your expenses is another powerful way to become wealthier. Interestingly enough, there are a lot of huge ways to save that. You could start additionally increasing your income, not just at your 9-to-5 or main job, but from other sources of income too, like side gigs that can be directed towards becoming wealthier. Just know that you should never be disheartened when you see your net worth and it isn't what you originally thought it would be. Always remember to be patient and know that it takes time to get ahead. However, if you're open to exacting change and being kind to yourself, then building wealth is inevitable. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and comment down below. Thanks for watching, and if you want to learn a few more tips and tricks to handling your money or your money-making skills, make sure to subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Cheers!